Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I'm Dr. Mohibullah Wazir, and the topic is nervous system. Nervous system is the chief controlling system of the functions of the body, along with endocrine. The nervous system consists of the central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system consists of the brain that lies inside the skull and the spinal cord which lies inside the vertebral column. The two, brain and the spinal cord, are continuous with one another. And then the peripheral nervous system are actually the nerves which are coming out from the brain and the spinal cord and reaching to the target organ, for example, muscles and skin. And these nerves are the cranial nerves, 12 cranial nerves that come from the skull, and 31 pairs of the spinal nerve that comes out from the spinal cord. Then the brain and spinal cord both are central nervous system, but with the difference that the spinal cord is the part of the central nervous system that responds only to automatic reflexes. For example, urine collected in a urinary bladder, information comes to the spinal cord immediately ordered to evacuate it wherever you are sitting in the class or in social place or not. But the brain is the part of the central nervous system which is having thinking power, actually the sure. The conscious appreciation of the stimuli, it is only present in the brain, not in the spinal cord. For example, the stimulus which comes from the urinary bladder, it reaches to the spinal cord. Spinal cord immediately orders to evacuate, but the information which reaches to the brain says, no, stop it, because you are sitting in the classroom. First, you go to the proper place, that is, you go to washroom, and then allow it. This is the difference between the function of the brain and the spinal cord. And then some of the nerves some of the cells are sensory in function and some of the cells are motor in function. In the same way, some of the nerves are sensory and some of the nerves are motor in function. Functionally, the nervous system is then divided into two. Number one, voluntary or somatic nervous system. That is the part of the nervous system that will perform its function according to the will of the human. While the involuntary system, that is autonomic nervous system, it is the part which will not be controlled by your will, but it will be under the control of the nervous system, but not under the control of your will. Now, the brain consists of four nuclei, parasympathetic in nature. Now, the involuntary system is divided into two, sympathetic and parasympathetic. The brain cells are all sensory or motor, except the Edinger-Westphal nucleus of the third, superior, inferior, and medial nuclei, and then the one of the nucleus of the vagus. These four nuclei are parasympathetic in function. Otherwise, all these cells of the brain are sensory or motor. There is no sympathetic cells or neuron present in the brain. In the spinal cord, all the neurons are either sensory or motor, except the neurons in the lateral horn cells of the thoracic region. These are sympathetic in function. And the neurons in the lateral horn cells of S1 and S2 segment, that is parasympathetic. Otherwise, all the neurons are in the spinal cord are sympathetic, sensory and motor. Okay, then a group of neurons that get together to form one group, that is called as nucleus. For example, nucleus of the third nerve and nucleus of the fifth nerve. And or it make one center, for example, visual center or sensory center or motor center, or we also call it sensory cortex, motor cortex or visual cortex. While the group of neurons that get together outside the central nervous system in the peripheral nervous system, then it is called as ganglion. This is the brief the introduction of the nervous system. Thank you.